But who knows if by the time I got home, I didn't feel like talking anymore. So I figured I'd do it now. See if we get any people on. Facebook has been unfriendly to me lately. Hey, Drusy Sandoval. Thanks for being the first one on. Well, looks like they're going to give me some people today. 7 reasons why I feel like we may be headed for a short golden age. Hey, Rachel. Paul, glad you're on. As soon as we get to 50, I'll start talking. Hey, Steven. Thanks for taking time. And the first part of the title was Quick Chat, which means I'm not going to keep you here forever. All right, there's 50. 7 reasons why I feel we might be headed for a short golden age. Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It is a nice view from the office. I love you, Corey. There's the airport. You can see the planes right above the lamp. Actually, I should show you the rest. Where's the rest of it? Where's the tent? Can't see it from here. I'd have to get up to show you, and I don't feel like getting up. I know most Christians, Christian leaders, think it's doom and gloom all the time. But I have hope that, you remember how Dr. Rodney said he saw a dark cloud over the earth and then he saw a hand wipe it off? I'm going to tell you what I'm starting to see and why I think things are going to start to get better. I don't believe there'll ever be a time of no chaos. The world will always be chaotic till Satan is in hell. But things go in waves, you know. The pendulum swings back and forth. So we're coming out of, I feel we're coming out of, a very wicked time in a lot of ways. The COVID lockdowns, the trans kid stuff that's being pushed. But I see it, I think there's going to be a clearing. And I think we're coming into a good time. I don't know how long it'll last, but I want to tell you why. Number one, anybody hear of what Elon Musk proposed today? Elon Musk rejected a seat on Twitter's board. If he was on Twitter's board, he can't own more than 14.9% of the company, I think. So we now see why he rejected it, is today he filed paperwork with the SEC to buy all of Twitter. Now I'm going to tell you why that's important. Number one, for him to buy it, it's unlikely that this offer is going to work because the Twitter board of directors would have to approve it, which I feel he could offer them $3 trillion and they would reject it because Twitter, though it's listed as a public company, it's an arm of the CIA. No question about it. And they're not going to turn that back over to an individual and make it private again. But Elon was just asked, if they reject this bid, do you have another plan? And he said, I do. So he could get other investors with him and make a second offer where they would have to take the offer. Why is that important? Because Twitter started as a free speech platform. You can't have a free society with restricted speech. And every time you see morons on the internet saying that they're against hate speech and we can't just have people saying anything, yes, you actually can. Then you can be an adult and not listen to what you don't want to listen to, not have your feelings hurt. You know, targeting an individual and threatening an individual, that's never been covered under free speech. But I like Elon Musk's definition of free speech. Free speech is the ability for someone you don't like to say something you don't like. Look how many things during the last 2 years were considered misinformation that as more facts came out, it turned out it was all true. It's insane. It is insane to have a body of people in charge of regulating what can be said and what can't be said under the guise of misinformation because you don't know. You don't know what's misinformation. More facts come out. It was a fact that Russia attacked the Chernobyl power plant, and then it came out that they never did. So There's been a lot of medical facts that are no longer facts as well. So this is huge. And I see whether this bid succeeds or fails, it shows that there's a backlash coming against regulated speech, which is very important. Number 2, Oklahoma did not pass a heartbeat bill. Oklahoma banned abortion. So what are you seeing? One of the bad things about Trump being president is people that were against abortion and for freedom just sat back and waited for Trump to do everything. Plus, you had all the idiots that believed in QAnon that played into that. You know, grab your popcorn and enjoy the show. And that's all everybody did. It was just like waiting for somebody else to do something about their country. But now people have realized no one's going to do anything about your country if you don't. So people are starting to do it now. So we have Texas, heartbeat bill, Idaho, heartbeat bill, Oklahoma straight up banned abortion. There's 3 states, and there's going to be more that follow. You have Roe versus Wade, the very real possibility of Roe versus Wade being overturned this summer in the Supreme Court. People realize now there's not going to be some savior, there's not some secret force that's rounding up all the politics. You have to do it, and people are doing it. Governors are doing it. That's the beauty of America. European countries are easily taken over by globalists because they're top down. The prime minister makes a rule, everybody has to follow it. America's not top down. America's bottom up. So you have, for the first time since I was born in 1980, Roe versus Wade was a few years before that, you have actual, actionable steps to reverse abortion. Number 3, 4 countries yesterday. Listen to this. These are 7 reasons why I feel we have a golden age, albeit a short golden age, but a golden age coming. 4 countries have decided that their course of action, England, Sweden, and 2 other countries. England and Sweden, not exactly Texas and Mississippi, very liberal countries, have, although Sweden's seeming less liberal by the day, but you're starting to see, yesterday, they've ruled that if a child thinks they're a man trapped in a woman's body, or they were born the wrong gender, however you want to say it, they're not going to do gender reassignment surgery. They're going to recommend psychotherapy like they used to when I was a kid. They're not going to say, oh, this boy thinks he's a girl, so let's cut his wee-wee off and put him on puberty blockers and turn him into a girl. No, they're going to do what they would do when I was a kid. If you thought that, oh, this kid needs therapy, he needs help to understand that might be something he's going through right now, but it's abnormal and he needs to come out of it. So you're having a pulling away from the transgender children movement, which, what does that show you? That shows you that even wicked people know that is a bridge too far. Even liberals, rank liberals, the majority of them, can't go with that. Anybody that goes with that, the Virginia election in the United States was a big deal because it showed how seriously, with all the faults there are, people still, in America, people still take their children very seriously. By and large, they don't want schools messing with their children, and they don't want insane ideologies being perpetrated to their children. And now you're starting to have European countries move away from it. Number 4, though none of us saw it coming, Joe Biden being elected instead of Donald Trump from a conservative viewpoint is the greatest thing that could have happened. Donald Trump, in 100,000 years, couldn't have done the damage to the Democrat Party that the Biden administration has done. Because all of the things Trump was trying to expose, once Biden's regime was in power, they were able to show the things Trump said, if you let the Democrats be in power, they're going to do this. Well, now they've shown it. Trump said if Biden gets elected, gas is going to go to $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 a gallon. Well, you could think he was nuts when he said it, but now Biden showed that it will do that. So now all the things that you sounded like a crazy conspiracy theorist if you said, if this party gets into power, they're going to do these things. They've shown they're going to do it. They've destroyed the economy. They've pushed radical, they're pushing for radical curriculum in schools for kindergarten through fourth graders when it comes to sex. Black approval of the Democrat Party and the Biden administration is at 56%. That seems good, right? It was at 88%. It's dropped 33 points. Approval for Biden is at 30%. Among independent voters, 26%. Biden has crippled the Democrat Party. Personally, I hope he gets healthier. I hope he serves out all 4 years, because the longer he's in office, the better it is from a conservative viewpoint. If you had a Republican plant in the Democrat Party who was pretending to be a Democrat, and almost, think of it like this, Joe Biden is like having somebody from the Babylon Bee be president of the United States, pretending they're a liberal, like showing how ridiculous liberal things are. And it's woken a lot of people up. Biden's better than Trump. Number 5. Here's what you have to ask yourself as a Christian. Is Jesus coming back for a weak and defeated church, or a glorious, victorious church? Well, most of you know that the correct answer, according to Ephesians 5:27, is the second one. So then does it make sense then that we're going to have COVID, then more stuff's going to happen, and we're going to just get slowly choked out and not be able to travel and not be able to have meetings and not have the economy be choked out so that we can't advance? Or would it make sense from a theological standpoint for there to be an open window for us to have free reign and travel the world and preach the gospel and build churches? So from that standpoint, it makes sense that we're going to have a reprieve. I don't know how long it'll be, but we're going to have a reprieve. Number 6, God didn't create man to be controlled. God doesn't even try to control people. He told Adam and Eve what to do. They were free to do it, or they were free to disobey it. So when you have people in the World Economic Forum sit and start telling what people are going to be able to do or not do, they can make plans and they might have a lot of money, but you're actually pushing against human nature and nature. Man is not meant to be controlled. Any attempt to control man will ultimately fail. Even the Antichrist himself will only succeed partially for 7 years. Man's not meant to be controlled. So any attempt by the World Economic Forum, International Monetary Fund, whatever, to restrict your money, to monitor what you can and can't buy, to control what you eat, it's not going to work before the rapture. It's destined to fail. Number 7, when you look at Klaus Schwab, you look at Joe Biden, you look at Macron, you look at whatever globalist leader you want to put up there, do they strike you as extremely intelligent people that you can't outthink? They don't to me. And I'm not saying that arrogantly, even though it's an extremely arrogant thing to say. I can outthink Joe Biden, no problem. I can outthink the Democrat Party. I can outthink Klaus Schwab. We just did for 2 years. Their lockdowns never took in the United States. A couple of regions, but not in the United States. Some parts of the United States, but not the United States. They failed. They had hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars in advertising. It would have to be trillions. Advertising, infrastructure, and it failed. They never did it. I was at opening day watching baseball. You'd be hard pressed to find any masks in the crowd. The stadium was packed. There was a dinner in the stadium before the game started. There was no plexiglass, no masks on the staff. They failed. We have the ability to outthink their plans. And you have to remember that. Don't look at Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates and whoever else as some untouchable, all-powerful force. They're not. We have brains. We have arms. We have recourse. They're planning a food shortage for the summer. I just found cheap farmland right by our church, and we're looking into it. That's already zoned for farming. One greenhouse can produce 15 acres worth of crops. I'm not storing up Stouffer's frozen food and pantry items. I'm going to try to survive. I could make enough food for a large portion of this city, let alone our church. And I could do that as a side project. Stop thinking like a slave, that there's leaders that make a ruling and we have to abide by it, and I don't know what I'm going to do. One thing you learn at reading the Bible is evil people are great at planning things, but they're poor at executing them. And all it takes is one fly in the ointment to mess everything up, which Elon Musk is one. I'm one. You're one. So always think from a position of strength and of power, because you have strength and you have power. God created you in his image and in his likeness. And he created you to be fruitful and multiply. So, there's no reason. When the Bible tells you not to have any fear or anxiety about anything, it's not saying that just to ignore everything and I'm not going to be afraid and I'm not going to have any anxiety. No, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be fearful about. There's been evil men since the inception of the world. And righteous men defeat evil men, not the other way around. Father, thank you for your hand that's upon our life. Thank you for your many blessings and your many promises. Thank you for your good hand that's upon our life and upon everything we touch. Thank you that you promised in Joshua chapter 1 that if we meditate on your word and never let it depart from our mouth, you'll give us good success in everything that we do. We receive that today. In Jesus' name. Amen. Listen, wherever you are, as soon as I'm done broadcasting, which I will be very shortly, I want you not to think about it, not to pray about it. I want you to come and join me for Easter. This Sunday, I'm going to show you out my window. There's one tent. There's a second tent. I'll show you the big third tent. Here's the third tent. We astroturfed the whole parking lot. I'll show you a better view. There's parking. There's the planes. When I go fly out, there's the airport that's right across the street from our church for me to fly out. There's Evangelist Daniel and Bia Dutoit from South Africa. Came to visit. There's the tent. So we can get an extra 500 people out here and 600 and some inside. We have 900 and some people registered. But it would be incomplete without you. So what I was going to say is go on your phone when I hang up and look up on Google Maps how far you are from Pittsburgh. I guarantee you you're not that far. Take it in 2 days. Get a hotel halfway or fly it. Where I just showed you where the Pittsburgh airport is. So once you get to the airport, you're basically at the church. I would love to have you here. We're at 950 some registered, I believe. But it's not enough. I'd like you here. We want to hit 1,000 for Easter. So go to pittsburghchurch.com. Pittsburgh has an H at the end. Or you can go to revivaltodaychurch.com and register. We're going to give away a trip to Florida for one family. And we're going to enter you to win the Harley Davidson motorcycle we have downstairs. So that's Sunday. Please don't miss it. I love you. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Please share it. And I'll see you on Sunday for Resurrection Sunday. For myself